Hello everyone, I'm It's Robbie Rhino, and in today's video we're having a look at the Emil 1951, which is the recently released Tier 8 Swedish Premium Heavy Tank, which is currently in the store. This tank has a 3-shot autoloader, and it's technically not new. It's basically the unskinned Barracuda, which was released some time ago now. The only difference is this has a 2 seconds better reload on its magazine, and the Barracuda has misspaced armor on the sides, I believe. Apart from that, they are identical. I guess it depends on whether you like the skin and the name. That's all I have to say on that one. Yeah, it's just the same thing. So this tank has quite low hit points at 1400 for tier 8. It's on the lower side. Has very decent mobility, 45 kilometers an hour, but quite nice reverse speed at 16 kilometers an hour, and a power to weight ratio of 15.17, which is fairly decent, fairly mobile for a heavy tank. As you can see, it's actually quite a small heavy tank, and this playstyle is basically Swedish Heavy 101, hold down, Emil 2, Emil 1, Crown Van. You know, if you've played them and you like how to play them, you're gonna like how to play this, and you're going to like this tank because it makes you silver. But we will run down just a few of the statistics for those of you that aren't sort of aware of them. And in the background, my first replay is on Pilsen, which is a very good map for this tank where you can get hold down and use the turret armor. So the Emil 1951 has a 105mm 3-shot autoloader that deals 1080 damage per clip, meaning each individual shell on the APCR and Premium APCR deals 360 alpha damage. The penetration is low. It's 217 on the standard APCR and 242 on the Premium APCR. I wouldn't bother with the HE. It's 53mm of penetration for 460 alpha damage. Maybe just carry one magazine for artillery. Maybe some light tank destroyers, that kind of thing, but I just prefer to carry the APCR personally. The reload is fairly long, 33 second space reload. That can improve, and you will see it can improve with commander skills and equipment as always. 2.7 second aim time, which is fairly long. Again, that can be reduced. 0.4 accuracy, and I found that this gun really does misbehave for me, regardless of whether it's fully aimed or I'm kind of snapping a shot in. Sometimes they just hit the ground, go into the sky, you know, you name it, go into a different kind of map, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, it's just kind of the nature of the tank. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, I found that it does misbehave, so try and get all the gun handling sort of commander skills and equipment that you can get. Being a Swedish heavy tank, it has fantastic gun depression at 12 degrees, meaning that it's very versatile on ridge lines that other tanks could only sort of dream of. It has 14 degrees of gun elevation, which isn't brilliant, but the gun depression is where it's at, and that's what you want to use when you're playing this tank. Basically, you want to find where I am now, sort of hold down, and when you hold down, your turret armor is absolutely fantastic. So just to touch on the armor, the lower plate is 120mm, don't worry about that, it's basically like wet paper. The upper plate is 100mm, but you can get that up to about sort of 253mm of effective armor if you sort of extreme angle it and if they are looking up at you. But the turret armor is the daddy. It's the thing that you want this tank for. Turret armor flat on is 180mm, but when you're using your gun depression, that can go up from about 280mm of effective armor towards the sort of bottom half of the turret, right up into the top half of the turret. I've seen angles, it's mainly about 300mm of effective armor, but I've seen it go up to about 360 in some areas when I'm looking at Tanks DG. Obviously that's the PC model, but I believe it's exactly the same as the console. But yeah, it's very strong. It can bounce pretty much anything you're going to be that's below or same tier. A lot of tier 9 tank destroyers are going to struggle to get through it. Some tier 10s will just butter it with APCR, but you can get the odd ricochet from a gold round from a tier 10. You know, medium tank or a tank destroyer, which is, you know, for a tier 8 heavy tank, that's phenomenal. Yeah, it's really, really good. You do have to be wary. There is a small cupola on the left hand side, as if you were facing the Emil 951. It's 110mm, but it's quite hard to hit, and sometimes people hit it by accident, or I like to think that they do. But yeah, just be wary of that, and if you really have to shoot at the turret, HE or try and go for that cupola, or just load the gold and hope for the best and hope for a high roll. Equipment I use: gun stabilizer, advanced optics, and improved ventilation. I want to get that view range up so I can try and spot for myself as this tank get down Mr. President for the enemy team. Yeah, it was just one of those sessions, I think. And improved ventilation just to help everything out a little bit more, 5% boost to everything. Commander skills I use: Sixth Sense, Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Steady Aim, Rapid Aim, Snapshot, Armour Angling, Track Mechanic, and Situational Awareness. A very sort of standard heavy tank setup. Always nice to have that Armour Angling, because I'm going to try and brawl in this tank. I'm going to get to the ridge line and sit in front of my enemies, and yeah, I'm going to try and hit all the shells I can. The intra-clip reload in between the shells is slightly long at 2.75, but it's not the worst. Just saw my video of the tier 9 object 752 yesterday. I believe, as I hope this goes out, you can see that it's a lot better than that, and it's a very similar you know, base reload for the whole magazine at 33 seconds. It feels long, but at tier 8 it feels a heck of a lot better than the object 752 felt at tier 9. And I would rather play this because it actually prints silver. So yeah, gameplay in the background, we've picked up 4k damage already in block 910, so not a bad sort of damage number to come into sort of the end game. Going to go and protect the base now, get a shot into the Italian medium tank, and then we're going to finish off the Urshu 152. And now it's just the medium tank up there, the Inferno, who is focused on the medium in front of him, but because of our reload we aren't probably going to get another shell in. But we picked up 4.2k direct damage, very, very nice. And you can see I was using the ridge lines on Pilsen. I knew exactly where I wanted to go, down around sort of CD 2 or 3 area, go hold down. There's no artillery, so I can sit there and I can use my turret and my gun depression to its advantage. So we finish MVP in that game, make 150,000 silver, get the Master Badge Ace Tanker, 1843 base experience points, 5 kills, no insistence unfortunately, but yeah, a very, very decent game. And we're going to hop into the second replay now, and I'll talk you through that one, so see you there. So we're in the second replay of the video now, and we are on Sunset Coast, which is the worst version of Airfield, in my opinion anyway. I much preferred Airfield, or I would at least like to see Airfield come back and have this as a variant. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get there eventually. There are more maps coming back very soon. So this is, you know, another good map for this tank. There aren't too many maps that are bad, sorry, for this tank. As long as you can sort of find a position that you know you can sort of sit down, hold down, and have a little bit of support behind you while you reload. That's kind of the playstyle you're going for. That's kind of the Swedish heavy playstyle. Find ridge lines, use your turret armour, get your shots in for your magazine, and while you're reloading, sort of let your enemies sort of try and distract them while you either flank or you sort of relocate, or just let your opponents forget that you were there, and, you know, come back when you're fully loaded and rinse and repeat. And yeah, it sounds simple. Obviously it doesn't always work out, but some people will really enjoy that playstyle. I don't mind it myself. I do like the Swedish heavies. I guess I prefer a little bit more mobility or higher alpha damage, but you know, autoloaders are always very fun, and they do print silver if you do get those magazines in. So we've come to a fairly aggressive position here at E5. I'm feeling very confident here. I have to be very careful actually about sort of straight in front of me where TDs like to camp. I think I'm going to get a shot in a minute, or I'm going to about to shot, yeah, just from that Cromwell. And then we're going to whiff our shell. That's when the sort of gun handling comes in. The dispersion when you do move your turret is slightly annoying, as you can see. I was obviously really annoyed at that point. But yeah, it's slightly annoying, but it's something that you're going to have to put up with. I felt confident because of the matchmaking, but TDs do like to sit sort of in the north to northwest of this map, so yeah, they have got shots here, and if you are lit, you know you're on their level, they are going to spot you and shoot at you. But we've noticed this Chiri, I don't think he sort of realises where he's getting shot from and kind of panics and runs into a rock, which is exactly the same thing I'd do. We dump our magazine in and we're on the reload again, and this is where it can be frustrating playing a tank like this, that you have to sort of reload in, just like yesterday's video with the Object 752. You know, if you're a single shot now, I could have a shot into that Jagdpanther 2 or that medium, but you do have to sit here, and it's just a trade-off for having that autoloader, which sometimes is beneficial, sometimes it's not. But yeah, it's a very competitive heavy tank. It's not too bad. I'm surprised it took so long to get the sort of unskinned Barracuda in the game, the original. But there we are. And you're going to see sort of, I think, in this game where there are there's that German super heavy at tier 8, the Premium, and the tech tree. Is it the 16801P and the 1001P? I'm going to struggle to penetrate them, and you can see me sort of having shots but not firing because I just don't have a flat surface to fire on. And even looking down on top of their hull, I'm not going to penetrate, especially with the standard APCR rounds. I would recommend, as you can see, if you can afford it, carrying a healthy dose of Premium APCR. It carries a lot of rounds, this tank. You're not going to get through all of them. I don't know what I'm doing there, but I try and I think I try and track in there, but I luckily go for the lower plate, and I get a second one through the lower plate. And the first one bounced because he was angled, and even if he was slightly angled, I'd still bounce. But yeah, carry some APCR, because if you're bouncing lots and lots and lots and lots of standard APCR, you're going to lose just as much silver as if you sort of bounced one clip of Premium APCR and then pen the next, if that makes sense. So, you know, I'd rather pen one clip of Premium APCR than bounce sort of 2 standard clips and then penetrate the third. It's just something to be wary of, and apprehend that, you know, you have much better games doing that. So we've seen that 80-50 near there, give us a slide, perfect shot for this tank. Be wary also with the penetration, because it's APCR, it will drop off penetration at a distance. Going to go for the tracks of this German Super Heavy, trekking in place and try and get a shot through the cupola, but penetration lets us down. I think I must have forgot the armour thickness of the cupola there on the German Super Heavy. I'm pretty sure we could have penetrated it. I mean, we might have low rolled, but that just shows you again that you do have to be wary that this penetration isn't brilliant, and you know it's going to struggle against quite a lot of tier 9 and 10 tanks, especially heavy tanks, and the more heavily armoured tank destroyers and mediums. So we've already picked up 2.8k direct damage in this game, blocked 110 from that Cromwell and picked up 224 assistance. We are capping, and I'm just pleading for my team either to get reset or to you know, get out of the cap and let me go and defend our cap, because I noticed the enemies were going to be sort of circling around going for our cap here. That Ragnarok, we set on fire, he bounces at least one there, I believe, off me, or absorbs a shot, or I absorb a shot, and yeah, we get out of that only losing a little bit of health. We've still got 777 hit points left, and now we're going to go over towards this cap circle, and you want to be sort of reloading while you're manoeuvring so you don't feel like you're sort of useless. Try and spot when you're reloading, try and relocate so that when you get to your destination you are reloaded and ready to rock and roll. I was going to go up there, but I felt like there wasn't enough time for some reason, even though there was 30 seconds. I just wanted to get round here and get the shots in, because I feel like we're going to win either way. I just wanted to make sure we get the win. To get the shot into the 3002M, wait for a while he's burning so we can get the third shell into this 52p prototype, but we whiffed that on the move. Obviously that was on the move and I fired, but the dispersion isn't great, like I said, and it is very awkward. And as I'm reloading here, I've noticed, oh god, he's going to kill me, so I'm trying to use this wreck as cover, and I'm going to try and sort of bait him round for my heavy tanks that are coming up behind me. Unfortunately it works, so we're just going to stay here, try and keep his focus, and he gets shut down. And kind of similar to what I did in the 752 replay yesterday, if you've watched that. Use your sort of environment to your advantage and bait people while you're reloading if you have to. So we finish MVP, 4.6k direct damage, 479 assistance, Master Badge, Ace Tanker again, high caliber, we finished with 1810 base XP points, 3 kills, which is always very nice. Yeah, and a very decent game. And you'll just see, you know, you pick up a nice chunk of silver. This isn't without a boost. This is without a booster. This is 139,000 silver. Yeah, and it's just what you can do in a tank like this. So I hope you enjoyed this replay. I hope you're all having a great weekend. Lots more content coming out in the week, and I shall be looking at the next tanks reforged hopefully next week. I'm currently grinding the SU 122 54. It's kind of like hell on earth, so maybe the tanks reforged will make it a lot better. So I hope to see you then in that video. Thanks for watching. See you on the battlefield, and bye for now.